real UPS. Saya ada upload kan announcement hari semalam lepas habis UPS tu. UPS 2 hari Selasa juga 29 bulan 3. Cuma masa tu saya akan announce nantilah later, still 45 minit lah. Kalau tengok kat dalam channel tu saya dah inform lah sini. Itulah mungkin tak pasal lah kot sebab semalam lepas habis UPS tu saya terus post pasal tu. Tak apa. So saya dah remind lah kat situ. So nanti saya akan buka booking slot ni dekat dalam borang pembahagian tu juga. Okay. So nanti decide lah korang nak ambil slot yang mana. Cuma saya tak akan bubuh yang hari Selasa petang ni. Waktu lain boleh. And then kalau memang tak cukup masa juga, saya mungkin akan buka slot pukul 4 sampai 5. Okay, nanti apa-apa saya akan beritahu lah update tentang borang apa semua tu. Okay, so kita tengok berapa ramai yang dah masuk. Okay, ada 40. Kat YouTube ada 14. Baru separuh, tak sampai separuh ni. Macam mana ni? Okay, tak apa. Saya tak nak tunggu dah. Dah 2-3 minit. Kita boleh teruskan kot. Sebab kita hari tu lecture kedua pun tak habis lagi. Okay, boleh saya teruskan? Kita start dengan kelas. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone. So, continue with the last lecture. We are going to focus again on 7.1 and 7.2 subtopic, which is still on the event and probability and also probability of mutually exclusive event. But if you remember, we have discussed everything for 7.1 and 7.2. But I skipped for the part of tree diagram. Why? Because we need some time to understand for the tree diagram. So for today, we still are learning about the basic knowledge of the probability. Okay, so masih lagi define the concept, find the probability of an event, apply the basic law of probability, and then we use the formula of the union. And then for the mutually exclusive event, there is no intersection, means that the union will be the addition between the probability of event A and event B only. Okay, so let's move on directly to the tree diagram. Okay, so tree diagram. Tree is a pokok, betul tak? Kalau direct translate pokok kan. So what do you understand about pokok? So we have the roots, right? It start with roots, and then we have the trunk, and then after that we have the branches, betul tak? Barulah ada daun-daun semua tu. So macam tu lah kita bayangkan. It's come from one event ni, kita boleh dapat outcomes dia, ada banyak jenis, and then keluar lagi outcome lain. Okay, so kalau kita tengok kat sini dia punya definition dia kan. Tree diagram is very useful in solving probability problem either when one event is repeated or when more than one event occurs in a sequence, okay, after one another. So tree diagram ni consists of number of branches. So branches macam dalam pokok kan, kita ada dahan, betul tak? Lepas tu that illustrate the possible outcome for the experiment. Okay, so we know apa-apa pun boleh sebenarnya kita buat dalam bentuk branches. Okay, let's say total student of Madam Zai, we have a male student and female student. Okay, so male student, female student, this is branches of the student Madam Zai. Betul tak? So we have two branches here. Okay, but this tree diagram is really important if we have the one event repeated or one event occurs in sequence. Macam mana tu? Okay, so let's see some example of this type of event. Okay, so remember, okay, yang ni you guys mungkin tak faham lagi, tak apa. Okay, to find the probability, the concept is to find the probability you must multiply along the branches. So we have multiply along the branches and add between branches. So why? Why we have to multiply along the branches and add between the branches? Okay, so let's see some example. How do we create the tree diagram ni? Okay, so before this we learn about the contingency table. We know we have two categories of event, so we can do the table. But now it's repeated. Okay, so let's say how is it considered as repeated event. So example 5, a bag contains 8 marbles. So we have 8 marbles, 8 guli. So 5 white and 3 red. So we have 8 marbles with 5 white marble and 3 red marble, with total of 8. So one is drawn at random, okay, and not replaced. So after we drawn the marble, so we put it outside. We cannot put the marble inside the bag again. No. So not replaced. So we lost one marble already after one is drawn. Okay. And then another draw is made. So we have another draw after one. So we draw two marbles actually. But the two marble is not drawing together. We take one at a time. So what is the probability? Both marbles are red. Okay. So now we want to see at the end what is the probability if both marbles are red. Okay, because we draw two times already, and then that the marbles are not of the same color. Okay, so not the same color. So what color we have? We have white, we have red. Okay, so if we have white, we have red, not the same color. One might be white, one might be red, or one might be red, another one might be white. Okay, so let's see how do we draw the tree diagram. Okay, so let's say this is our bag contains all the marbles. We have 3 red, right? 3 red and 5 white. Okay, so now we want to take one marble out from the bag. So we might get red or we might get white. So we can separate the branches into two branches. The first one is red, the second one is white. So what is the probability of getting red marble? So we know the total of the marble here is 8, right? So we have 1, 2, 3 red. So the probability to get red, the total is 8. This is our number of sample space. Betul tak? Okay, so the probability of getting red is, because we have 3 red, we might get this one, or we might get this one or another one. So it will be 3 red marbles out of NS, which is 8. That's why the probability will be 3 out of 8. And then to get white, how many white marble? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get white 1, white 2, white 3, or white 4, or white 5. So we have 5 possibility of getting white marble out of the total of 8 marbles. Okay? So we have this probability. So this is for the first draw. How about the second draw? So after we take out the one marble, we will take another marble, right? We draw another marble. So what's left inside the bag? Okay, if we take out red, then in the bag we will have only 2 red marble left, right? We don't have 3 because we take out already 1 red. Now we have 2 red marble, 5 white marble. So what is the total marble here? We have left by how many marbles? The total here now is not 8 but 7. Yes, good. So we have a total of 7. Okay, so 7 marble. So the second draw, what will happen? We also can get red or white marble, right? And then if we take out white, what's left inside the bag? We still have 3 red marble, but the white marble from 5, it will be only 4. Okay, now we will have for the second, this is the first draw. This is the second draw. This is the possibility. So you can bring out what is the possible outcome after that. So for second draw, we want to take out, if we get red, so what is the probability? So what's left here? We have 2 red, 5 white. Okay, so to get red, the probability will be 2 out of 7. To get white, it should be 5 out of 7. Okay, and then if we take white marble at the first part, for the second draw, what will we have? We also can get red and white marble. But what is the probability? it will be different from the above one. Why? Because we left with 2 red. Here we still have 3 reds. So the probability of the red is, because red we still have 3, white we have 4. So total still the same, equal to 7. Same as above, right? So 3 out of 7 for red and 4 out of 7 for white. Okay, so we are done with the 3 diagram. Now to answer all the questions. So let's see the question. What is the probability that both marble are red? Kedua-duanya merah. Okay. So kalau kedua-duanya merah, di manakah result yang kedua-duanya merah? So after that kan, we bring out what are the results. Okay, the results here. So if we take red from the first draw and then we get also red on the second draw, means that the outcome here is the red. We have 2 red. Okay, and then if we have red for this one, the outcome here should be red and white. And continue lah. The next one will be white and then red. And last one is both are white. Now, the first question is asking what is the probability if we get both red. So this is actually red 1 intersect red 2. It happened together. Okay, so if it happened together, so what we need to do? Okay, so if you want to find this probability here, we need to multiply along the branches. Multiply along the branches. Red, so multiply the branches red. So we need to multiply the 3 over 8 with 2 over 7 together. Okay, so how to answer this question? So we should multiply 3 over 8 and 2 over 7 along the branches, right? We go back to the 3. So 3 over 8 here, 3 over 8 here, multiply with 2 over 7. Okay, so what do we have as the results? We have 6 over 20, 6 over 56. So after that, we simplify the answer, we get 3 over 28. Of the same color. Okay, now, not the same color means that will be this probability of red or white, and red and white, or probability of white and red. So to get these results, we need to multiply along the branches also lah. So we need to find for this one first. So we need to multiply 3 over 8 with 2 over 7. And then for white and red, we need to multiply 5 over 8 with 3 over 7. And then we total up these two probability. Okay, so the answer will be what? Okay, so probability of either one, not the same color, so red white plus with white red. So we have 3 over 8 multiplied by 5 over 7 plus with 5 over 8 multiplied by 3 over 7. So we can see this from the tree diagram lah. Okay, so if we draw it here, red, white, red, white, red, white. What we want is here and here. So this is 3 over 8. This is 5 out of 7. This one is 5 out of 8. This one is 3 out of 7. So adding up these two probability, we get the answer 15 over 28. Okay, now we are done with the example 5. Continue with the next example. Okay, you guys have any question before we continue with the next one? Okay tak? Okay, Okay, so any question? You can see any question? No question yet. Okay, no. Let's continue. So example 6. The probability that Azhan is late for college on any one day is 0.15 and is independent of whether he was late on the previous day. So, what does this statement say? Okay, so Azlan lambat ke college bila-bila masa pun probability dia 0.15. And independent maksudnya it's not depend on the previous day. So you can just say that if we late today, he can late tomorrow by 0.15 probability. It's not depend on the previous day. Okay, find the probability that Azhan is late on Monday and Tuesday. So what is Monday and Tuesday? The relation is Monday is before Tuesday. So it's a sequence. Okay. So to do the tree diagram, we have to do the tree diagram lah for this one. We have to do because it's a sequence. And then what is the probability that Azhan arrive on time on one of this day? One of this day. So let's see the tree diagram. So we can represent L as Azhan late for college, L prime on time, not late lah. Okay, so this is our tree diagram. The outcome is late or not late. Okay, so this is for the first day. Let's say this is Monday punya probability. So what is the probability for late? It's 0.15. So what is the probability he will not late? So you know the total probability should be equal to 1, right? So the complementary of the probability. What is this answer? What is the probability? Someone? Yes, 0.85. Okay, so 0.85 here. Okay, so we have the complementary event here. Okay, so because late and not late is related kat sini, we use the complement. Okay, now, so for the second day, let's say this is Monday. For Tuesday, the second day, it must be continued from the first day here, but the probability will be the same. It will be, he will be late by 0.15. So not late also the same, 0.85. The same as if he does not late on Monday. So he will be late on Tuesday by, because it's independent, it will still 0.15. Not late also same as 0.85. Okay, so what is the question? The question asks you to find probability that Azhan late on both Monday and Tuesday. So means that he late on both day. So which one say about late on both day? So we can list out the outcome here. This is when late and late. Late on Monday, late on Tuesday. And then this one, the next one is late on Monday, late on, not late on Tuesday. L prime, L prime. And then the third one is not late on Monday, late on Tuesday. And the last one, not late on Monday and not late on Tuesday. So for question A, we should focus on this part because he late on both day Monday and Tuesday. Okay, this is a sequence, right? So we need to find what is the probability of late. What we need to do? Apa yang kita perlu buat to get this probability? Okay, 0.15 multiplied by 0.15. Good. Thank you. Okay, so probability of late is 0.15 multiplied by 0.15, which is equal to 0.0225. Okay, now we have the answer for late. How about the next one, question B? They ask you to find the probability that Azhan arrived on time on one of these days. What means on time? On time means not late. Okay, so one of these day, it's either one, right? If he not late on Monday, he might be late on Tuesday. Or if he late on Monday, he might be not late on Tuesday. So which one of these outcome from the tree diagram that we should take? Let's see the tree diagram. Which one? A, B, C, D. Which one? Okay, siapa yang jawab tu, sorry? Jawapan dia apa? B and C. Okay, good, betul. So we take B and C. So we add up the probability for B and C. Okay, so late, not late. So we just multiply along the branch, and then not late and late along the branch also, and then add up. So this is the means of multiply along the branch and add up between the branch. Okay, so what is the answer for this one? Question B. So 0.15 multiplied by 0.585. So this one is late, not late. And then the second one, not late multiplied by late. So we add up these two outcomes. So someone might be asking, why don't, is it the same? Benda ni bukan sama ke? Okay, it's not the same because Monday, it happen on different day kan. So lain. Late dia pada hari Isnin. Yang sini late dia pada hari Selasa. Okay, so we need to consider both outcome lah. So what is the answer here? We have 0.255. Just use your calculator lah. Direct. So we have finished discussing on the tree diagram. So any more questions? Okay, after this we are going to continue with the next part of the lecture 3. Tak ada? Kalau tak ada kita teruskan dulu ah. Okay, dekat YouTube ada soalan tak? Tak ada, saya teruskan ya. Ada 29 orang kat YouTube ni. 51. Kita tengok nanti attendance siapa yang hadir ni. Okay. So, let's see lecture 3 of this chapter, this topic, which is the last lecture lah. Okay, so so this lecture we are going to focus on 7.3 and 7.4, which is the conditional probability and independent events. So both is important and I think it's a new thing for you guys. Okay, conditional and independent. Conditional ni apa maksud dia? Kalau direct translate, conditional ni apa? Condition rambut tahulah. Conditional. Condition ni apa? Dengan syarat condition. Okay, and independent, tidak bergantung, independent. Okay, so at the end of the lesson, students should be able to solve conditional probability. So you have to know to solve the conditional probability. So how to solve? You need to understand the concept of conditional probabilities. And then the second one, identify and apply the conditional probability formula. So this is the formula. To solve the conditional probability, we use this formula. Okay, so this is for 7.3. 7.4, subtopic, independent events. So we need to identify. Students should be able to identify the concept of independent events. So is this independent event? Why? Why is this independent event? So we need to know why. We need to know how to identify. And then use the formula for the independent event. So this is special case for independent event. We will have the intersection equal to the multiplication between the probability of event A and event B. This is only applicable to independent event. Okay, so let's continue. Let's begin. Sorry. So conditional probability. Okay, let's read the definition together. So if A and B are two events in sample space A, the conditional probability of A given that B has occurred is the probability that A occurs given that B has occurs. Macam mana ni? Okay, so probability, so we represent it as probability, conditional probability of A given. So this straight palang here, line here is a given situation, the condition, given that B has occurred. So what we need to find is that let's say event B sudah berlaku. Okay, so what is the probability of getting A? Okay, so it has happened. B happened first, and then we want to know what is the probability of getting A. So this is conditional probability, and that is denoted by probability of A given B, which is equal to, this is the formula for the conditional probability. So you just have to remember this formula lah. which is the formula is equal to probability of A intersect with B divided with probability of B, divided with the probability of the condition. Here is the condition, right? So we need to divide with the probability of the condition itself. Okay, now keywords. Some of the question might give you in this form keywords lah. So find the probability A given B. Directly A given B. Given A, the probability B occur. So which one is the condition? So we know given B is the condition for the first sentence. For the second one, given A. So A will be the condition. That's why A is at the back. And then probability A occur if B occur. So B has happened. So B should be the condition. And then if A occur, so this has happened. So A should be the condition here. And lastly, probability that A occur, B also occur. So A has occur. And then we want to know if B also occur. So A is the condition. So you have to take note all this type of question lah. So all of these are the conditional probability, but with different way of construct of the sentences. So please recognize the condition first. So the condition should be at the back lah. Okay. So these are all the keywords might come out from to the in the exam lah. Sorry, not in the exam. This chapter we don't have it in exam, but we have it in the UPS and the assignment. Okay. So in tree diagram, so we know the tree diagram earlier, right? Okay, so we have this tree diagram A, B. Let's say this is a tree diagram. So the second branch here, this is the second branch. This is the first branch. This is the second branch. Okay, the second branch represent the event that occur after the first event has already occurred. Betul kan? Sebab nak dapat A kat sini kena datang dulu. Okay? It must happen first. This A. So to get probability of this one has happened. So what is this probability? Nilai yang dekat sini ni sebenarnya nilai apa? In other words, the second branch represent the conditional event. So this value here, let's say this is 2 out of 3. This value here is represent the probability of A, the second A, happen if the first A has happened. So nilai kat sini sebenarnya adalah conditional probability. So we get after we multiply along the branch. This is probability of A1, right? This is probability of A2 given A1. So this is, we know that it happened together, A2 and A1 together. Betul tak? Kita tahu yang hasil kat sini sebab ada intersect antara dua event A1 dengan A2 ni. So, what we can relate? Okay, kalau ikutkan, okay, let me erase all the ink. Okay, so PA, so B. So diguna A dengan B kat sini ya. This is probability of A. Okay, directly probability of A from one event though. And then after that, this event is actually probability of B. Yes, because B, but it come from the branch A. So A has happened. So this A is actually the condition for the B to happen. Okay, so kena faham tu. So dalam tree diagram sebenarnya kita dah dapat bahawa this is probability of A intersect with B. Kita cari dia dengan cara multiply along the branch. Means that we multiply probability of A dengan probability of B given A. How? Because it's come from the probability of conditional probability punya formula. Which is probability of A, B given A is equal to probability of A intersect with B divided by probability of A. Ni, kat sini ni. Sebab tu kita bahagi macam ni kan, sebab A is the condition. Sebab tu kita boleh multiply along the branch to get the intersection between event A dengan event B. And probability of B is equal to, so nak cari probability of B, which one is the probability of B? So we have 2B here. 2 outcome B here. So we need to add up these 2 outcome, which is probability of A intersect with B, and this one is probability of A prime intersect with B. Okay, so just multiply along the branch, which is this one, PA multiplied by PB given A, and then for this one B, PA bar, A prime multiplied with probability of B given A prime. Okay, this is the concept. Okay, so let's see some example here. So we have given that probability of A equal to 1 over 4. Okay, probability of B equal to 1 over 3. And then the union is equal to probability of the union AB is equal to 5 over 12. So now find the probability of A intersect with B. So what is the relation of A intersect with B with all these three information? So we have the general formula of union, right? Only one formula that true for all cases, which is the union formula. Okay, so we use the union formula, which is probability of A union B equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersect with B. So we know already the union, which is equal to 5 over 12. So we can rearrange the probability of A intersect with B as the subject. So we have the probability of A intersect with B equal to probability of A plus B minus the union. Okay, so substitute all the value. Probability of A equal to 1 over 4, probability of B equal to 1 over 3, probability of A union B is 5 over 12. We get the answer equal to 1 over 6. Okay, this one you all already know. We have discussed this in the tutorial already. But for question B, probability of B given A. So if we have this symbol, we need to find the conditional probability. So means that probability of B given that A has happened. So what is the formula? Apa formula dia? Class? What is the formula? Lena dah ke semua? Formula untuk apa? Zunaidi. Formula nak cari conditional probability ni. Over? Probability of A ke probability of B? A. Good. Okay, we put the probability of the condition. Okay, so it's divided by probability of A. Now, do we have the probability of A intersect with B? Kita dah ada kan? So, from question A, we have the probability of A intersect with B, which is equal to 1 over 6. So, probability of A is equal to what? It's given in the question equal to 1 over 4. Okay, so directly 1 over 6 divided by 1 over 4. So, we get the answer equal to 2 over 3. Betul kan? Mari kita check sama-sama betul tak? Okay, 1 over 6 divided by 1 over 4. Dapat jawapan 2 over 3. Nampak ah? Ni kalkulator paling klasik ni. Dapat 2 over 3. Okay? So, boleh continue? Boleh, good. So, dah dapat jawapan 2 over 3 betul. So, example 2. D and E are two events such that probability of D, probability of E, and probability of D given E is 0.25. So, now we want to find the probability of D intersect with E. So, what is the relation intersection with the conditional probability? So, we know the probability formula dia adalah given probability of D given E equal to probability of D intersect with E divided by probability of the condition which is E. Okay, so sekarang kita ada dah maklumat ni diberikan 0.25. So you just rearrange and then let the probability of D intersect with E as the subject. So probability of D given E is equal to 0.25 and probability of E is equal to 0.5. This one is given in the question. So jarabkan je lah. So you get what the answer? 0.125. So this is the answer for the intersection. Now, the next question, dia minta union. So union ni tak ada formula lain dah. We only use the union, general union formula. That one formula. So the union is equal to probability of D plus probability of E minus probability of D intersect with E. So intersection we have already in question A. Okay, kalau dalam assignment lah. So if you get the correct formula here and then you put the probability of D plus probability of E, but your value is for the probability of D intersect with E is depend on question A kan. Kalau jawapan di kawasan A you salah, you letak kat sini, kita masih terima tau formula ni. Okay, we said it as we follow your answer kat sini. But given that the formula is correct lah, kena pastikan formula tu you guna mesti betul. So kita akan bagi markah untuk jalan kerja. Okay, your work still the correct, but because your answer in A is wrong, so we can give your marks for the work only. Jawapan still salah lah, tak ada markah kalau tak betul nilai. Okay, so sebab tu jalan kerja sangat penting dalam assignment. Tolong jangan skip. Untuk macam individual assignment tu ada yang saya tanda, there's some of you that skip steps. Skip step, terutamanya dalam finance. Okay, so please after this group assignment, please be careful. Your group mates mesti check dulu. Jangan bagi tugas-tugas tak ada siapa check pun jawapan kawan tu. No. You have to discuss together, do together. Okay, so this is for question B. Sorry, melalut sekejap. For question C, dia minta probability of D given E prime. So, given E prime. So, what is the formula for this one? It should be the probability of D intersect with E prime divided by probability of E prime. Okay, kita ada tak intersection between D and E prime? Tak ada. So macam mana nak cari? Kalau ikutkan bayangan Venn diagram kita ada D and E. Betul tak? So D intersect with node E is this area. Means that this one is D only. So D only nak dapatkan dia macam mana? We have the formula kan? You boleh direct guna formula. But if you understand by through the Venn diagram, you bayangkan, oh, this is the area D only. Why? Because we don't want E. We take out the one with E. So this part, bulan sabit. Saya kata bulan sabit kan? So the formula is to take all D minus with the E prime. E prime is the complement of E. So it should be 1 minus probability of E. So sekarang semua nilai you ada. Probability of D you ada, probability of D intersect with E you ada, probability of E pun you dah ada. So probability of D is equal to 0.3 minus probability of D intersect with E equal to, ada tak intersect? Ada soalan A tadi. You dapat apa soalan A tadi? Saya tak ingat dah. 0.5. Okay. So, kira dapat berapa? Minus 0.125. Kenapa tak keluar? Tak boleh ya. 0.3 minus 0.125 and then divide by 0.5 lah. So we get the answer. Dia bagi jawapan 0.35. Betul Azhar. Good job. Okay. So kita dapat jawapan 0.35. Azhar tolong saya kira. Kalau tak saya kira seorang-seorang. Terima kasih. Okay, so dapatlah jawapan. So semua ni semua kita ambil daripada basic knowledge kan. Tak ada benda pelik pun. Benda pelik sebab korang rasa macam tak pernah jumpa. But you can do this Okay, so that's all for this example 2. So let's continue with example 3. Okay, so this one is a situation kan. So let's say 30 mathematics professor out of 100 who are examined were found to be overweight. So 30 orang profesor daripada 100 ni overweight. So we represent as W. 10 of them. So 10 of them, 10 out of 30 mathematics professor ni had high blood pressure. High blood pressure. So represented as H. Only 4 of the professor who were not overweight had high blood pressure. So 4 orang yang not overweight ada high blood pressure. So find the probability that a mathematics professor will not have high blood pressure if he is not overweight. So how do we represent all of this data? Boleh tak nak guna Venn diagram? Boleh. So sekarang kita ada overweight, ada high blood pressure. Betul tak? Lepas tu ada juga yang tak overweight tapi ada high blood pressure. Macam susah kan? Kita tak nampak gambaran tu. Sebab kalau guna Venn diagram kita akan ada bulat-bulat ni je. Tapi kita ada kat sini overweight, not overweight. Blood pressure, not high blood pressure. So kena nak guna data apa ni? Cara macam mana? Okay. So stable. Good. Pandai. Siapa tu? Okay. So kita dah tahu dah kat sini. The professor 30 professor overweight. So kita tahu total yang overweight adalah 30. And total overweight 30. So kita boleh 30 kat situ. Okay, biasa maklumat pertama kita masuk kat situ. And then dia kata out of 100 professor, 100. Lepas tu dia kata lagi, and then they said that 10 of them had high blood pressure. Okay, so 10 daripada yang overweight tadi tu ada high blood pressure juga. So it happened together, overweight and high blood pressure. So that's why we put 10 here. Okay, after that, apa lagi maklumat yang diberikan? It said that only 4 of the professor who were not overweight had high blood pressure. So 4 orang not overweight dan high blood pressure. So W prime and H. So di mana W prime and H? W prime and H. So kat sini kita tahu dia kata only 4. So it should be 4 here lah. And then now we can find out the total already. For high blood pressure, the total is equal to 14. And then, not high blood pressure for the overweight, kita boleh cari balance dia. Because the total overweight is 30, high blood pressure is 10. So, not high blood pressure is 30 minus 10, which is equal to 20. And then we also can find out the balance for the total not high blood pressure. So 100 minus 14 we get 86. And then now we can find the total, the value here lah. So 86 minus 20. Okay. Or you can know that the total not overweight daripada 100, 30 overweight. So the remaining is 70 lah. 70 is not overweight. So 70 minus 4 is 66. Okay. So information given in the question kita kena keluarkan dulu. Okay, lepas tu letak kat mana yang ada dan penuhkan yang kosong. Sorry ya. So now we have the information already. So what the question asks you to find? Find the probability that a mathematics professor will not have high blood pressure. So high blood pressure tak ada. So H prime if this is the condition. He is not overweight. So W prime. Okay. So saya tak nak buat kat muka surat lain. Kita buat kat sini terus lah. Okay. So what is the formula for the conditional probability? It will be probability of H prime plus intersect W prime and then over the W prime. Probability of W prime. Good, thank you. Okay, so sekarang What is the probability of H prime intersect with W prime? So kita tengok table di mana yang H prime dengan W prime berlaku serentak. Siapa yang tidur dah tu? Okey. Oi, Mariam Jamilah tertekan. Afiq, thank you Afiq. Betul 66 out of. Kat sini ni yang saya selalu, student ada selalu buat salah. Apa dia? You salah letak dia punya NS. So we know the intersection is 66 over the NS. Okay? So 66 out of NS kita always the same, which is 100. This is number of sample space. Okay? 66. Professor is not overweight and no high blood pressure. Out of total professor, which is 100. So 66 over 100. And then what is the probability of W prime? W prime is the total 70 over 100, because from the not overweight, it can be high blood pressure or not high blood pressure. Okay, so divide by 70 over 100. So the answer here is equal to 60. We get pecahan. Ada yang tolong bagi jawapan. Bagus betul. 33 over 35. Okay, kalau kita gunakan calculator tu dapat pecahan. So, terus 33 over 35. Okay, itu kalau bahagi. Cuba tengok. Kalau saya guna calculator biru tu. Kenapa ni? Okay, kalau kita guna calculator biru. Kalau you buat bahagi, dia akan jumpa dalam point. Cuba kita guna pecahan. 66 over 70. So, dapat 33 over 35. So, bagi siapa-siapa yang nak letak dalam pecahan, nak pemudahkan pecahan, we use this divide lah. Not divide, over. Kat situ dalam bentuk pecahan. Okay, so let's continue with the next example. Okay. Ravi goes to school either by bus or bicycle. Okay, ada dua cara dia pergi sekolah. Naik bus or bicycle. So, let's say this is bus, this is bicycle, B and C. He may reach school late or on time. So, dia boleh datang lambat ataupun sampai tepat-tepat. So, the probability that he goes to school by bus is 0.4. So, we know probability of B is 0.4. If he go to school by bus. So, sekarang ni ada perkataan if he. Okay? Means that this go by bus has happened. The probability he is late is 0.3. Apa maksud dia? This 0.3 ni cakap pasal apa? Probability that kalau dia naik bus dia lambat. So macam nak represent dia? Tree diagram. Okay. So kalau guna tree diagram bagus. Okay. So kat sini dia kata, kawan awak kata guna tree diagram baru nampak. Okay. Kena lukis tree diagram. Kalau saya boleh terus letak kat sini. Saya tahu dah apa benda tu. But if you do not see any relation, so you just do your tree diagram. So, kalau bus is 0.4. If he go to school by bus, the probability that he is late. So, from bus, he can be late or on time. So, late, the probability of late is 0.3. Why? It comes from if he go to school by bus. So, this 0.3 is actually probability of L late given he use bus. Okay? So, dia adalah conditional probability kat sini. Saya boleh terus listkan je L given B kat sini. Sebab saya nampak. So, korang kalau tak nampak, buat tree diagram. Okay? However, if he cycle to school. So, cycle to school. The probability that he is late is 0.2. So, late is 0.2. Because if, maksudnya, cycle to school tu dah berlaku. So, probability is 0.2. So, sekarang ni macam mana nak lengkapkan tree diagram ni? Ada nilai-nilai yang tak ada ni. Untuk C, untuk L prime, untuk L prime ni. Macam nak isi dia? Yes, good. 1 minus. Bagusnya. So, you dah faham dah konsep. So, 1 minus. Every bunch ni total dia mesti 1. So, 1 minus dah dapatkan C. 1 minus 0.4 for B. So, we get 0.6 here. And then for not late, here untuk yang atas ni, we minus 0.3, we get 0.7. But for this one, because the late is 0.2, so the not late is equal to 0.8. Okay, so we use the complement event kat sini. So now we want to find probability that Ravi will be late. So kat mana late tu? Dia boleh jadi late if we use the bus or we can late if we use the bicycle. So we need to add up these two events, LB and LC. And then for B, kita nak cari probability that Ravi goes to school by bus given that he was late. So this is the conditional probability, late. Okay, the probability that Ravi go to school. So we want to find Ravi pula. Probability goes to school by bus. So here is B. Okay, sorry this one is not R, B. Probability of B, because Ravi go to school by bus given that he was late. So this is for question B. So let's do for question A first. So this is our tree diagram. Betul kan? Sama dengan saya buat tadi tu. Okay. Now we want to find probability of late. So we have either use bus and late or use bicycle and late. So we just multiply along the branch. So 0.4 multiplied by 0.3 plus 0.2 multiply 0.6 multiply 0.2. Okay, so we have the answer equal to 0.24. Untuk soalan B pula, dia kata find the probability that Ravi goes to school by bus given he is late. So condition dia adalah late. So kalau ikut conditional probability, formula dia adalah apa? Probability of B intersect with L divided by probability of L. The condition tu di bawah. So B intersect with L. Kita ada tak? Ada kan kat sini? B intersect with L. So kita darabkan sahaja. Okay. So 0.4 multiplied by 0.3. And then probability of L. You dapat mana? Dapat daripada soalan A. Kita dah jumpa dari soalan A. Which is 0.24. Okay. So, what is the answer? We get 0.5. So, the probability that Ravi goes to school by bus, given that he is late, is equal to 0.5. So, macam ni. Ravi dah lambat. So, kita tak tahu Ravi ni sebenarnya naik bus ke naik basikal. Macam tu lah. Nak cari probability dia. So, this one we want to find the probability that he goes to school by bus. Dia lambat ni sebab dia naik bus. Macam tu. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Okay, because we have another concept which is the independent event kat sini. So we will take time untuk yang bahagian tu. So try to do the tutorial 3 questions first. Okay, for the conditional probability. So we continue to discuss in the tutorial lah. Boleh ya? Boleh, okay. So sebab lepas ni di 85 saya ada kelas tak silap saya. Saya pun tak ingat, sekejap saya check. Okay, kalau ikutkan lepas ni, di 85 ada kelas. Yang free di 81 dan 13. So kita tak boleh sambung lah. So apa-apa pun, that's all for today. See you guys di 81 and di 13. See you guys tomorrow. Di 85, we have one class yang saya hutang dengan awak. Kelas online. So nanti kita akan set lah bila kita akan buat. Okay. So thank you class. Don't forget your attendance. Untuk YouTube, jangan lupa komen nama. Okay. Okay. Apa? Gmail saya tengok dekat attendance meeting dia. Jangan risau. Tu yang sebab tu lah saya suruh siapa yang kongsi device dengan kawan tolong komen nama. Okay? Okay, class. Thank you. Salam.